Khan's arrest that's now kicked up a huge political storm. The NCP has now jumped in, calling these raids a targeted one, saying that the NCB is carrying out raids on the behest of the BJP, pointing out that there were some of the BJP Karyakartas at that crime spot when the NCB were carrying out those raids. One was even seen holding the hand of Aryan Khan while taking him to the NCB's office. Of course, NCB denies those allegations, but here's a detailed report.
The superstar drug bust now turns political. Sharad Pawar's Nationalist Congress Party has made sensational claims on the bust led to the arrest of Shah Rukh Khan's son, Aryan Khan, and others. The NCP alleges the raid by the Narcotics Control Bureau was orchestrated by the BJP.
पिछले कई दिनों से ये क्राइम रिपोर्टर को सर्कुलेट किया जा रहा था कि नेक्स्ट टारगेट शाहरुख खान है, और शाहरुख खान का बीजेपी का क्या रिश्ता है आप लोग को पता है। जो भी असंतुलता पे कुछ बात करता है तो उसको हम ठीक कर देंगे, इस तरह की बातें होती रही है।
The NCP claims that there was no drug seized from the cruise ship. The party claims this man, KP Gosavi, a private detective, was seen taking selfies with Aryan Khan. The NCP says Gosavi can also be seen bringing Aryan to the NCB office. In another video, a man named Manish Bhanushali can be seen bringing accused Arbaz Merchant to NCB office. The NCP claims Manish is a BJP leader and his social media feed shows his pictures with Devendra Fadnavis.
मुंबई पुलिस हो जितनी मदद मांगेगी एनसीबी 1000 की बटालियन हम भेजने के लिए तैयार है, लेकिन गोसावी और भानुशाली को किस अधिकार में बुलाया गया, इस सवाल को मैं पूछ रहा हूं, इसका खुलासा हम चाहेंगे।
India Today confronted Manish Bhanushali on his role during the raids. Bhanushali claims he tipped off the NCB about the use of drugs in the cruise.
मुझे कुछ माहिती मिली थी, ठीक है, कि इधर कुछ ये यहाँ पे होने वाला है, ड्रग पार्टी होने वाली है। इसके लिए मैंने वो ऑफिसर के पास जाके बात किया, तो उन्होंने बोला नहीं ठीक है, आपका कंफर्मेशन न्यूज है तो हम इसको जरूर कार्रवाई करेंगे।
इनको आप लोग पकड़कर एनसीबी के दफ्तर लेकर आ रहे थे?
हम लोग पकड़ के नहीं लेके आ रहे थे, पूरी कार्रवाई एनसीबी ने की है। वो तो सिर्फ सर का क्या था कि मीडिया है, मतलब ये जो भी है, जब तक हम इनको अंदर पूरी इंक्वायरी कर ले तो हमको अच्छा रहेगा। तो उन्होंने ये बताया कि आप थोड़ा, और हमें उधर जाना भी था, साक्षी करके थे, तो साइन करने के लिए जाने का था, बाकी कोई भी पकड़ के नहीं लेके गए, हम साथ में गए हैं।
The Maharashtra Vikas Aghadi has demanded a high-level probe into the alleged nexus. The BJP has hit back.
भारतीय जनता पार्टी का इसमें क्या हाथ है? क्या भारतीय जनता पार्टी और एनसीबी का कोई नेक्सस है? इसमें मुद्रा पोर्ट के ऊपर जो 3000 किलो ड्रग मिला था, 21,000 करोड़ का ड्रग बरामद हुआ, जो कि पहली बार आया या बहुत बार पहले आ चुका है, इसके भी तय तक जाने की आवश्यकता है, जिसकी जांच सही तरीके से नहीं हो रही, तो उससे ध्यान हटाने की कोशिश की गई थी क्या? भारतीय जनता पार्टी के इशारे पर यह हुआ था क्या? इसकी भी तय तक जाने की आवश्यकता है।
क्या कारण है जो अफसर ड्रग माफियों के विरोध में हैं, ड्रग कारोबारियों के ऊपर कार्रवाई करते हैं, वे लोग महाराष्ट्र सरकार को रास क्यों नहीं आते? क्या इन ड्रग माफियों की ओर से क्या करोड़ों रुपए की वसूली आ रही है?
The Narcotics Bureau on its part has called the allegations of political link baseless. The agency maintains that its probe is unbiased and transparent.
Some allegations leveled against the organizations are baseless and seem to have been with malice and probable prejudice that may have been harbored in retaliation against earlier legal action carried out by NCB. NCB reiterates that its procedure has been and will continue to be professionally and legally transparent and unbiased.
The political twist in the superstar drug bust case has opened a bigger can of worms. The NCB now faces several questions which it should answer to protect the integrity of the probe. With Divyesh Singhal, Vidya and Arvind Ojha in Mumbai, Bureau Report, India Today.
Now, the arrest of Shah Rukh Khan's 23-year-old son has quite naturally erupted in political drama. We're looking at the NCP, the Nationalist Congress Party now, making some serious allegations, saying that the man Manish Bhanushali, who was spotted along with the NCB officers during the raids, is a BJP leader. He is a BJP karyakarta. In fact, the NCP alleges that Manish was entirely accompanying the NCB raids all along at that cruise ship during that entire drug bust. In fact, NCP has also alleged that no seizure of drugs was made on the cruise liner and that all the photos that were clicked, which was initially released of the drugs that were seized, were all clicked at the NCB office. NCP has now called for a high-level inquiry into the alleged collusion between NCB and the BJP. Meanwhile, BJP leader Ram Kadam has slammed the NCP. Kadam said Nawab Malik is trying to settle scores and that allegations here are mere political vendetta. While you have the NCB now also hitting back, NCB has called all their actions as per rule and law and protocol. In fact, the Narcotics Bureau has called all the allegations currently baseless and prejudiced. India Today has also spoken exclusively to Manish Bhanushali, who is allegedly a vice president of some wing of the BJP. Let's take a listen.
बात रही अभी नवाब मलिक की, एकदम गलत और बेहुदा जिसको बोलते हैं कि उन्होंने ऐसा मेरे पे आरोप लगाया है। मेरी पार्टी का कोई लेना देना नहीं है इसमें। मैं पार्टी का कोई पदाधिकारी नहीं हूं, लेकिन पार्टी का 6.5 करोड़ जो कार्यकर्ता उसमें से मैं एक पार्टी का कार्यकर्ता हूं, निष्ठावान कार्यकर्ता हूं। और हमारे पार्टी के संस्कार है कि देश के विरोध में कुछ भी हो रहा है तो आपकी फर्ज बनती है उसको रोकना चाहिए।
यानी आप ये मानते हैं कि आप बीजेपी के कार्यकर्ता हैं?
जी, मैं निष्ठावान कार्यकर्ता हूं पार्टी का और मुझे इसमें कुछ भी ऐसा नहीं लग रहा है कि मैंने बुरा किया। कि कुछ ये बुरी चीजें हो रही थी उसके रोकने के लिए मैंने पुलिस के पास गया, एनसीपी के पास, और उन्होंने बहुत अच्छा सपोर्ट किया वानखेड़े साहब ने, और उनके पास भी जानकारी थी इसके बारे में। लेकिन मेरे किसी मित्र के थ्रू मेरे पास जानकारी आई थी कि मुंबई में ऐसा कुछ होने वाला है। तो मैं बोला ये देश में बहुत गलत तरीके से जो युवा धन को बर्बाद कर रहा है उसे हमें रोकने के लिए हमें आम पब्लिक को भी आना चाहिए।
Well, here you have all-out Gandhigiri in Lakhimpur. Finally, after much hesitation, the UP government gave a nod and permission for Rahul and Priyanka Gandhi to visit Lakhimpur Kheri. Now, the Congress MP Rahul Gandhi and his sister Priyanka have already left for Lakhimpur. Gandhi siblings met first at the Sitapur guest house when Priyanka was detained for the last 2 days. Earlier in the day, Rahul Gandhi refused to take escort's vehicle provided to him from the airport. In fact, he sat in a dharna as well for 20 minutes. Accusing the government of not giving him a free way to enter Lakhimpur, saying that he wanted to use only his car and not the escort car. As we speak, Rahul Gandhi is currently on his way to Lakhimpur to be meeting with family members of those farmers who were killed in Sunday's violence. Along with Priyanka, Punjab Chief Minister Chani and Chhattisgarh Chief Minister Bhupesh Baghel also accompanying Rahul Gandhi. Now, this comes as UP government initially declined permission for their visit, but later allowed Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka to visit Lakhimpur along with 3 other people only. Only 5 is the limit that they've set. UP Cabinet Minister Siddharth Nath Singh, meanwhile, lashed out at Rahul Gandhi for this drama, saying that Rahul has he's in fact done shows that the issue, whatever he's done currently, the way he's acting up, shows that Rahul Gandhi is not really in favor of the farmers, but it's more about the optics of it. That's what UP Cabinet Minister accuses Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka of doing.
ये देखिए, इधर जरा कैमरा लगाइए इनको यहाँ पे अच्छी तरह। ये देखिए, मुझे एयरपोर्ट से बाहर नहीं जाने दे रहे। पहले कहा परमिशन मिल गई, अब चलने दीजिए ना मुझे। ये देखिए
जी,
कैसी परमिशन है ये? जी
तो आपको लग रहा है कि सरकार बरगलाने की कोशिश कर रही है?
आप मुझे बताइए कौन सी परमिशन है, मैं निकल सकता हूँ प्लीज? जी, ये देखिए परमिशन, यूपी सरकार की परमिशन देख लीजिए।
जी सर, अंदर बात हुई थी कि आपको जाने देंगे और अब एयरपोर्ट पे ही आपको रोका जा रहा है।
आप कैमरा लगाओ ना यहाँ, ये देखो क्या हो रहा है, ये देखो।
आपको लगता है मिसलीड करने की कोशिश की गई, आप लोग को कहीं और ले जाने की कोशिश है जो गाड़ी इस तरह से लगाई गई?
मुझे नहीं मालूम भैया, मैं तो यहाँ से निकलना चाहता हूँ, एयरपोर्ट से निकलने नहीं दे रहे।
तो आप यही धरने पे रहेंगे सर जब तक?
मैं क्या करूँ, निकल ही नहीं पा रहा हूँ।
तो सर आप धरने पे रहेंगे जब तक आप?
धरने पे क्या, यहाँ बैठा हूँ, निकलने नहीं दे रहा मुझे।
सर ये पहली बार नहीं हो रहा है, हाथरस में भी हमने देखा था, आपकी गाड़ी रोकी गई थी एक्सप्रेस वे पे, उसके बाद आप पैदल गए थे प्रियंका जी के साथ, ऑलमोस्ट सेम सिचुएशन।
ये दिखाओ ना, ये सीन दिखाओ ना थोड़ा अच्छी तरह। ये देखिए, ये है यूपी सरकार का परमिशन, देखिए जरा इधर, ये परमिशन देखिए।
आपको लगता है क्लियर डायरेक्शंस हैं कि आपको रोका जाए एयरपोर्ट पे ही और किसी और रास्ते से लेके जाया जाए कहीं और?
नहीं, वो तो सामने रोका हुआ है, मैं निकलने की कोशिश कर रहा हूँ, देखो
जी।
तो ये है परमिशन यूपी सरकार की।
Well, blood spilling on the streets of Kashmir Valley, a very unfortunate incident where 3 civilians were killed by terrorists. One included Makhan Lal Bindro, a 68-year-old pharmacy owner, in fact, Kashmiri Pandit. In fact, despite all the militancy and terrorism growing in Kashmir Valley, you had Makhan Lal and his family who decided that they're going to be staying put and lived in the valley for long until he was shot dead. His daughter came out to speak, gave a very emotional tribute. Here's what happened.
Makhan Lal Bindru, 68 years old, a well-known pharmacy owner in downtown Srinagar. One of the few in his Kashmiri Pandit community who did not flee Kashmir after militancy and terrorism began in the valley. Bindru was assassinated by terrorists on Tuesday. He was shot by assailants from point-blank range while he was at his popular pharmacy, Bindru Medicate, dispensing medicines. He was rushed to a hospital but was declared dead. A murder by terrorists that has shaken the Kashmir Valley afresh. Along with his wife, Bindru had chosen to remain in his beloved state and not bow down to the blood-drenched purge that drove out nearly all Kashmiri Pandits. Bindru fell to the very bullets he stood up against 3 decades ago. Pakistan-backed terror group, the Resistance Front, an affiliate of the Lashkar-e-Taiba, has claimed credit for the cowardly killing.
I'm an associate professor. I've started from zero level. My father started from a bicycle. My brother, he's a famous diabetologist. My mother, she sits on the shop, a female lady. That is what Makhan Lal Bindru made us. Kashmiri Pandit, he will never die. You can just kill the body.
A family that bravely chose to live under the shadow of incessant threat, now paying the ultimate price.
He was a gem of a human being and his spirit, उनको शरीर को मार सकते हो, जो बंदा जिसने ये किया है, मैं उसके ऑन फेस उसे ये बोलती हूँ कि बेटा आपकी ये जो भी हो, मैं तो आपको बेटा ही बोलूँगी क्योंकि आपकी बुद्धि जो है ना बहुत छोटी है. ये करने से आपने अल्लाह को पाया नहीं, आपने जहन्नम का दरवाज़ा अपने लिए खोल दिया क्योंकि आपने किसी नेक फरिश्ते इंसान को मारा है जिसके बीवी बच्चे पोते पोतियाँ सब रो रहे हैं, सब दुखी हैं, तो वो तो आपने अपने लिए जहन्नम का दरवाज़ा खोल दिया.
जिस कश्मीर को खून से सींचा वो कश्मीर हमारा है.
In Jammu, displaced Kashmiri Pandits have been staging protests against the killing of Bindru and 2 other civilians on Tuesday evening. Raising slogans against Pakistan and terrorists, the protesters have also castigated the government for failing to protect the handful of Pandits who are left in the valley.
Killing of 3 civilians, including a renowned Kashmiri Pandit chemist Makhan Lal Bindru in the Kashmir Valley last evening, has sent shock waves across the country. Here in the streets of Jammu, you can see that displaced Kashmiri Pandits are staging protests against Pakistan terrorists as well as against the government. The displaced Kashmiri Pandits are raising slogans against Pakistan, and they are also castigating the government for failing to protect the Kashmiri Pandits who are left in the Kashmir Valley. They are saying that on one hand, the government makes big claims about the honorable and dignified return of the Kashmiri Pandits, and on the other hand, the Kashmiri Pandits who are left in the Kashmir Valley are being killed by the terrorists.
Of the nearly 1.5 lakh Kashmiri Pandits who lived in the Kashmir Valley, over 1 lakh were forced to leave starting in 1990, with many hundreds losing their lives. Makhanlal Bindru, who was a young man when the militancy began, had shown great nerve in remaining on his land with his young family. The loss of Bindru, mourned by politicians across the spectrum in Jammu and Kashmir.
बदकिस्मती की बात है, ये कश्मीरी पंडित की नहीं, ये कश्मीरी की डेथ हुई है। ये हम सब के लिए शर्म की बात है। इस आदमी ने किन हालात में हमारी खिदमत की, ये हमारे लिए शर्म की बात है। खुदारा जो लोग ये कर रहे हैं वो समझ जाएं, इससे कुछ हासिल नहीं होने वाला है।
The killing of Makhanlal, a prominent, well-regarded, peace-loving, unarmed Kashmiri Pandit in the heart of Srinagar, has aggravated wounds that refuse to heal. With Ashraf Wani in Srinagar and Sunil Ji Bhatt in Jammu, Bureau Report, India Today.